Hello friends, I'm here today with a design for a compact villager breeder. In terms of area, actually it'd be 5 by 5 by 8 if you include the redstone at the bottom here, which we'll get to. I know there are other designs out there for villager breeders, including a food delivery system, but sometimes you don't have the space for that or want something a bit more modular. So this design would fit perfectly into any wall of your base, or perhaps, just a nook or cranny where you want to put some villager breeding and don't have a whole huge area for a big farm attached to it. This breeder has a number of features that set it apart from others. First being, it is very food efficient. Most breeders seem to stack villagers up on top of one another and just chuck food down into them. When you do that, more often than not, one of these two villagers, looking at you, will pick up most of the food, leaving the other one with almost nothing. You end up having to throw a lot more food in there than you would normally have to in order to get them to breed. By separating them and distributing the food via these dispensers, they each pick up the required 12 food items they need to breed and nothing else. So you'll get the most bang for your buck as far as food's concerned. The second feature, which makes this nice, is as you can see, within this area, not only are we breeding, we are storing and separating the adult villagers from the baby villagers. So they're all ready to go here whenever you need them. You can just pop a minecart in there, walk in to push one out, and you're good to go. I will say that you don't want to let too many of them build up in here. If you do need a lot, you kind of want to manage them as you go, because I know once I've got like 6 or 7 or 8 in here, you can't actually force your way in. They end up pushing you back out. So keep that in mind. The third and final benefit that this villager breeder has over others is the controllability. You're never going to get a villager unless you push this button. So if you're on a server that enforces villager caps, you're not going to accidentally exceed that or load in a whole bunch of entities that you don't intend to. So it's very lag efficient that way as well. Anyway, I think it's time we get on with the tutorial. Right in here is pretty much everything you'll need. These aren't set numbers. These are just an amount of building blocks you'll need to get everything going. There are some modifications you can make. I'm using a rail system. You could easily just extend this water stream out and have the water flowing somewhere else to wherever you want your villagers, depending on how you prefer to move them. Alright, so we're going to grab all this stuff and I'm going to try to build it without flying around to show you how it would work in survival. So the first thing you're going to want to do, punch out a 5 by 5 hole here. Oops. Let's be a bit more careful. You can leave that one spot there, and you're going to want another one right here if you're using the rail system. Then you're going to need to get your redstone and run that pretty much all the way around the bottom here, and in this corner as well. Take some repeaters, plop that one on 4 ticks, this one on 4 ticks, and this one on 1, just like that. The next thing you're going to want to do is cover up all the redstone repeaters and whatnot with blocks. Be very careful because you're going to be working with water after this, so make sure you don't accidentally break one of these blocks or you're going to have to recreate the whole thing. So next you're going to need a wooden button. Either there, honestly, anywhere along this this area will work. You could easily put it in front there if you want. I just have always put it on the corner. It just needs to power that redstone underneath. And then we need to take, there's a redstone torch here. We put one here. And we're going to plop one of those on there and another redstone torch and then another block on top of that. And we'll get back to that in a minute. So next thing you're going to want to do is you want to pillar up on one of these sides here. One corner, pillar up 3. And we can place either a temporary block or just leave that block there. It honestly doesn't matter. But you're going to need to grab the dispensers that aren't here. Put one there. And then you're going to grab your hoppers. And we're going to run 1 into there, 2, and 3. We're going to drop down, do the other one up 3. 1 there, dispenser here, and then hoppers 1 and 2 there. Now you're going to take this chest, put it in between, make a double chest between the 2 hoppers that are running in the different directions. So what this does is when you put carrots in here, it's going to split them up absolutely evenly between the 2 dispensers. Next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a temporary block. Here, here, and here. And get your chain, come down underneath and plop some chains down there. Then you can come pillar up. You actually want to put temporary blocks here now. Grab your trapdoors and put 1 on each of these sides here. Flip them down. Now you can break all these blocks. You're going to put another trapdoor there on the inside of this one. And then take these 2 lanterns and place them on tops of those. This does 2 things. It puts the villagers at the right height, and it also prevents lighting issues later on. You may want to take dispensers or furnaces or something with a storage and cover up those hoppers. And then after that, as a precaution, both for spawn proofing and to help the villagers not escape, you plop those there. Then you're going to put 1 there, 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 and there. This gives the food a little cubby hole for the village to pick it up from. So next thing we're going to do is actually fill out the rest of this. This all gets filled in temporarily. We're going to place down our beds. Make sure that you're doing it this way so that the head of the bed is towards the villagers. There we go. And you're going to need to grab your observers. Actually, you want to probably come underneath for this now. Place your observers against, oops, not against there, against the lanterns. This way they're facing into these blocks so they can trigger the dispensers. I'm going to break out those in the middle underneath that middle bed. And we're going to throw in a sticky piston and an observer that can face either way, honestly. And that's pretty much all the redstone work you need. I'm going to fly just because this part is where you need to place in your villagers. So you can figure out how to get your villagers in here however you want, but once you get them in, they'll register those beds. Then you have to come down here and fill in the bottom bit. So I have this one where the storage is on the left side. You can easily flip-flop this. I'm going to fill in this. You can use whatever blocks you want to fill this in. I usually make the back solid. You don't have to. We're going to grab some signs here. Put a sign there. And we're going to put a sign, actually. You need to pillar up, and you're going to need to put a sign on the inside of this. And a block there. Now I'm going to switch to glass because I like to see what's going on inside the thing, but you don't have to. And of course, if you're doing the water stream method, you'd keep these 2 glass blocks out of here, and you would fill in the bottom. Since I'm storing them down here and using rails, which I'll place in right now, then I want to keep the bottom ones open. I'm going to take a trapdoor. This will keep the villagers from getting out. And also the rails here will prevent zombies from getting in. So the next step is to add the water. We're going to add a water stream down here. That'll funnel the baby villagers over that way. We're going to have 1 water source there, but clearly I forgot a block or 2 here. We're going to have to fill in the middle here. You're going to want a water stream here, which currently flows down, but we're going to put another sign right here to stop it. We'll just close this off. Oops. And that's all she wrote. So if I push the button, feeds them their 12 carrots, they'll start making babies momentarily. There they go. And after they have a child, pushing will eventually knock it off those lanterns into the water below, where it will then grow up. When it grows up, hits the bottom of that water source, comes over there, and is just deposited right here. And that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it comes in useful. And I'll catch you all next time. Hey, friend.